glanced through one rusted mechanism and saw floor space covered with what looked distinctly like human bones. Even after everything he'd seen already, this was a gut-punching shock. There were many of them, far too many to have come from a mere handful of skeletons. Of course, whether the marrow had been sucked from these sad relics, or they'd been incinerated by blaster fire was irrelevant. It all boiled down to the same thing now. His anger gave him new energy. He ran on determinedly. The next door led into a warehouse the size of a cathedral and filled with steel barrels hoarded in great pyramids. The doctor paused, panting. The barrels had been here untouched for so long that the green paint with which they'd been covered was flaking away, as were several bizarre markings stencilled on them in vivid red and resembling the upper portions of skulls. Almost certainly, this was a warning regarding the contents of the barrels. They were toxic or flammable, or maybe both. The doctor again heard shouting voices. With nowhere else to go, he began to climb the nearest pyramid, but soon realised this was a mistake. It was tedious, agonising work, and as the barrels weren't fastened together, several slipped away beneath his feet, clattering to the floor. About 12 metres overhead, he saw what looked like the end of a conveyor system, steel struts with wheels along their sides, projecting from a hatchway. Only 12 metres, but the doctor was so racked with fatigue it might as well have been 1,000. There came a shrill bleep behind him, and a photon blast hit the barrels below. They exploded in a cloud of flame and glowing steel fragments. The doctor climbed as hard as he could. As the blazing barrels cascaded beneath him, others ignited. Balls of white-hot flame erupted into the air, and Zorg Krausen, riding his hoverplate with the honed skill of the Special Assault Commando, swerved up between them. It was he who had fired the shot, and his photon rifle was at his shoulder again. The doctor turned to face him. Krausen came to a halt a few metres away. His hair hung in a wild, unravelled mop. Despite his prosthetic features, he was grinning maniacally. "The game's up, Doctor,"